make the game, right? Like that. That's what.
No, that's not really how we run things. But I try to help people, give them what they need to build the best possible game.
Yes.
As seldom as possible, tell people what to do.
Of course. No, I was merely just having some fun. But I know that DICE is an awesome studio.
Yep.
I've had a chance to talk with a lot of the DICE employees here, and they're all just super enthusiastic about Battlefield 4. So just, I guess, the general stuff, why don't you tell me about, in your perspective, the reception that everyone's been giving you on what you've shown here at Gamescom with Parasol Storm and the other game type and the premium packs, all that stuff.
So in general, this is the day one. We've only been here for like half a day, almost a day now, and people have been super excited. I think we won 6 prizes already. We have X amount of nominations.
Wow.
Apparently people are picking up on it pretty fast. I've been in several interviews with press talking about the game. I think this time around, when we showed the game at E3, trying to explain what multiplayer was, people maybe were a bit skeptic about some of the new features, what have really changed, what's the evolution.
Yeah.
But now here at Gamescom, when we show the second map and what that does to the game, people are like, okay, I get it. I surrender.
Yeah, it really has had, in my opinion, from the people I've been talking to, it's like a positive impact toward Battlefield. It's a good change, a good addition. I personally enjoy it. And not just being a, someone who's brought over here to talk about it, like I actually do enjoy the element that Levolution brings to Battlefield 4. So let's talk about Parasol Storm for a second. Let's talk about this map. Really nice map, really well designed, very different from Siege of Shanghai. Siege of Shanghai was a industrial, city with buildings this time around, going back to the jungle, going to the islands and all that. So I guess, would you say that this is Battlefield's roots right here with these island-based gameplay?
Absolutely. I think it's both. It's a homage to Battlefield 1942 with like island gameplay, naval warfare at its best, but also showing the diversity of what Battlefield 4 has. Showing Shanghai, super tight streets, fighting on the streets. It's helicopters, tanks, the whole shebang. Now we go out into the China Sea, showing off some proper naval warfare. Both the, like you said, the paradise look it has when it starts, and the completely stormy ocean as the weather is changing during the events of the map. I think it shows the width and the breadth of the game.
Yeah, I do want to talk about the weather effects, right? Because that was something that a lot of people are like, oh my God, dynamic weather effects, that's crazy. And I do want to discuss that, because that certainly has been a point of conversation for a lot of people. I was actually just playing, and I was on my Wave Runner, right? I was driving around, trying to do my thing, and then the storm hit. The water got very, very fierce, and it changed just everything. Then it was like, then it became really fun to ride in the Wave Runner. But beyond that, though, it really is going to change, like the battleships and whatnot. Just like the ships that are the battle boats, the ones that are moving in with the cannons and all that. I guess when going into the development of that, how did you guys come to that perspective? Did you know that this was something that you wanted to do going into Battlefield 4?
Absolutely. I think you're hitting something that we felt very keen on delivering, because you've never seen this in a multiplayer game before, where you have these waves that you can really ride. We compare it. The initial idea was like having the fights you have with tanks on dunes, where there's actually a lot of tactical depth in how you use these dunes. But having that tactical depth with boats on a rolling sea, that was like, how can we do this? This has never been done before. You can't compare it to anything. You've seen it in a single-player game, but you've never seen it in multiplayer games. And getting to that point when the first day when we actually played it and felt like, wow, this is amazing. I never had this experience before. And then on top of that, having the dynamic experience of going from one calm sea to a very, very stormy sea. I think that's brilliant. And to your point, if you have used the jet skis, for instance, you will actually notice that you are actually quite agile and fast compared to the big, CB90s, etc. and you actually have a good chance of hiding in these waves.
Yeah.
So you feel quite powerful, like a small bee compared to the big bear hunting you.
Yeah, you can really take
really
advantage.
Cool.
Just take advantage of your surroundings.
Yeah, and you add the dimension that is the element of the world. It's not only about how you use the vehicles or the weapons or the environment, it's actually how the environment changes around you.
Yeah, yeah, and now in talking about the environment changing, Levolution, got to talk about it. The the sea capture point, right? Which I'll go ahead and bring up the tabletop view here and zoom in. Right here, see this area changes dramatically as soon as that ship, which we saw on the live stream, crashes right into the island. Yeah. And it also gives the commander another ability as well, which is to use that anti-air gun.
Yes.
So when developing this, right, in the first one we saw Commander had a great impact on the majority of the battlefield, right? Yep. Really took advantage of the UAVs and the gunships and all that stuff. But now you give him another tool, right? Something really different and unique, in my personal opinion, to Commander. I guess, why not give that control to the player? Why give it to Commander? What was that that plan with that?
The idea is actually still to give some of the command back to the player, so you can actually, when you're in that area, and this is something we're discussing right now in the studio. So how do we utilize this the best? You know, the game is not completely done. We're still looking into some details. We're actually looking into giving the player the ability to spot enemies like planes and stuff, to use that anti-air gun as well. So it's not only a tool for the commander, but we're still discussing it. So if people have feedback on it, please let us know. I think it's we want to build the best possible game, and we really want people to give us all their feedback on how to utilize this most. To us, the most important thing is still balancing the game. You want the game to be super balanced. You don't want to overpower the commanders. You don't want to overpower the players. But finding the perfect balance. But also, to your point, that control point is also very interesting from another standpoint. That the ship actually crashes into one of the buildings.
That's right.
Bringing it down completely. You know, the classic, what we call D2. Destruction 2.0, where you actually not only take down walls, you actually take down full buildings. And it changes that control point quite a bit. Much like we did with Siege of Shanghai, when you take down the skyscraper, you actually move a control point. You actually affect the way you play around the control points. And I think that adds a lot of dynamic depth to the map.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. One of my favorite things to see in Battlefield 4, and especially with this map, has been how battles change over time. And when I was playing on C and that raid ended up happening, let's go ahead and bring up right here. I was playing over here. I was actually in this area right next to the building, right where my mouse cursor was. Boat comes crashing in, and I look at it and I'm like, oh my! Like it was like a set piece in a movie. It was probably like one of the coolest things, and I loved it. I thought that it was awesome, and it really just added a lot to it. Is that a plane that just flew by me? That was a plane.
Sniper bullet.
Oh, that was that guy right there, man. He's trying to get crafty with it, and of course, jets on this map too, which is really cool. And how are you guys? I guess when you added the jets into the game, we all knew that they were going to be in it, obviously. But I would have to ask you, how do you feel the overall feel of the jets are in Battlefield 4? Like, how is it? I guess. How should I say, in terms that make sense for viewers back at home? But I guess, how does it feel? Do you like just flying around and beating people up with a jet?
To be honest, I like flying the jets, but I'm not that good at it.
Neither
People take me down very fast. Even choppers hunt me down and kill me. So I'm not the jet pilot type of guy. I know that the guys working with the core systems and vehicle balancing have worked a lot with both the jets and the helicopters to make them more, how should I put it, more agile, and also have them controlled better. Because we know there's a lot of people that only flies jets or helicopters or tanks.
Yes.
They don't spend much time with their boots on the ground. Because they love the vehicles. So we put a lot of focus on those, and we also made sure that you can customize the vehicles in the game. So if you go into customize menu, you have the vehicle tab, and you can customize your vehicles. And also another thing that is quite cool that we haven't talked too much about is the emblems that you can actually put on your vehicles. You saw examples of that in Battlefield 3, where you created your the emblem for your platoon. this emblem you can now bring with you into the game. And automatically, when you jump into a vehicle, that emblem gets put on the side of the vehicle. So you can see who is using that vehicle. So you get some kind of personality to the vehicle, which is very, very cool.
That's awesome. It's like when you get in there and you see a jet in the air and it's like has like some crazy emblem, you know, oh, that guy's a good pilot.
Yes.
I've seen his emblem before. So that's really cool stuff. Well, Patrick, I want to thank you very much for your time. It was a pleasure. Of course, I'm sure